Well, Iran attacked Israel last night. Supposedly only 2 to 3 of the drones or missiles got in and actually hit something in Israel. Of course, some channels were saying an airbase was completely destroyed. From what I'm hearing, it was just minor damage where it was, and supposedly a young kid did get injured from falling debris. Now, it took hours for this attack to happen once they launched these drones. And what struck me is Israel did not respond immediately when the drones took off. They didn't send their stuff towards Iran. And you've got Biden telling them, kind of just let it go, no big deal, no need to go back against Iran for what they did last night. It was just kind of tit for tat. You did something to them, they did something to you. Now let's drop it. Now what does all this scream? To me, it screams there was a deal reached for Iran to attack Israel, to look tough, in front of their people, and for Israel not to retaliate against Iran. Because where does any country allow something like this to go on and not immediately retaliate, right? Well, I've told you the definitions of war and everything has changed. My question, one big question is, would Biden be the same way if somebody launched drones towards the United States? Would it take him days and days and weeks and months to respond to it? Probably, more than likely. But this whole deal over there last night, it screams that a deal was reached where Iran could attack Israel and not face immediate retaliation. I could not believe that, number one, Israel just sat there and waited on them to get there, right? And of course, we had our troops knocking them down and things like that before they even got there, and then the Iron Dome took care of the rest of it. But I was thinking, surely Israel, well, it's launched from Iran, right? It's not from one of their proxy countries. It's coming straight from Iran. I was thinking, why is Israel not sending drones, missiles towards Iran, right now? A deal was made. Now, will this broaden the war? More than likely. But when is it going to happen? When is Israel going to retaliate? Here lately, any country retaliates a week, 2 weeks, months later before they do anything about it, right? This all just, it seems fishy to me, real fishy. I told you it's almost like they're role playing the Bible, right? They want to keep people on the edge of their seat, but they know the outcome already. Because good and well everybody was on the phone together before this happened. It's getting to the point of where, is this really going on over there, or is it just smoke and mirrors? Is it fake? Is it a wrestling show? Yes, people are dying, but is all this other stuff really going on, or are they just reaching deals to make it look like this is more serious than it is over there, right? You've got Biden who's wanting to stand behind Israel. But then you got Iran. We're not doing nothing to Iran. What are we going to do? We're probably going to sanction them more, right? Iran got a lot of money from us, a lot, billions of dollars from us, and now they're able to carry out attacks like this. Who remembers back a couple weeks or a couple months ago when our military base got hit and it took us a while to retaliate, but yet when we retaliated, it didn't hurt nobody over there. That tells me that they're saying, we're going to hit you over here at 3 o'clock on this day, make sure you don't have no people there. We just want to damage property and not injure people. I was also thinking last night, hey, this could be where the temple gets tore up, right? We still got the red heifer supposedly is going to get sacrificed, but yet we're not hearing much about that no more. It's all to keep us on the edge of our seats. Now, like I told you in another video, all these deals that are being made for all this stuff to happen, eventually one of these players in this deal is going to be like, I'm not going by this deal no more. I'm going on my own. We're going to start a war. And when that happens, that's when it's going to get bad. When is that? I don't know. I guess whenever the money runs out or they don't get what they're promised, if they do something, they don't get what they're promised, right? Because you would expect Israel, because Israel's talked huge this whole week leading up to this, that if they're attacked, and if they're attacked from inside Iran, then, anything up to a nuclear weapon is going to be used. But now they're kind of like, well, it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, are they going to respond? Yes. How? I don't know. I don't think they're going to launch big blitzkrieg into Iran. They may hit a base or something like that. Eventually all this is going to break off, though, and when that does, it's going to get bad, and it's going to get bad quick. This is what I tell you. You can't stop what's going on over there. There is no way to stop it. All you can do is react to what's happening over there. Be as prepared as you can be. because you don't want to be one of these people having to run to the store to get a little gas or run to the store and get a few groceries, because I'll be surprised this week if gas doesn't shoot up again from this. You know, it's the election year is always chaos. We know that, and it keeps getting crazier every time we have an election come up. But do you think Iran and Israel's going to go to war? I don't know. I would have thought they would have went to war last night, or at least by today something would have been retaliated, right? But it's starting to look like smoke and mirrors and all shows, because how would you launch that many knowing more than, because now you look weak. Iran looks weak. They launched supposedly over 100, possibly 200 drones and, you know, ICBMs and things like that, and only 3 of them got through. That looks really weak. And then you got Iran telling the United States, stay out of this. Stay out of this. This has nothing to do with you. But then the United States is sitting there shooting their drones down as they're coming into Israel. So we're in it. See, how can you do that and not be involved in it, right? There's a lot of deals that go on that we don't know about. We'll never know about it. And this all stinks high heavens to a deal was reached, because any other time in history, this would have been an all-out war. This would have been declarations of war. If you attack a country, you're at war. Israel declared war on Hamas when they attacked them, right? But they're not declaring war on Iran. It gets to the point where every day you just go, all right, this, you know, if it's going to happen, let's get it going, right? If this is going to be it, let's get it going. And then in the back of your mind, you're also like, is it really this bad, or are they just putting it on for us to see and making us think it's this bad? Look at look at Ukraine and Russia. You know, that war has been going on for a while, but yet we don't hear much about it, right? Only what they tell us. And of course, now they're going to probably want to send more money to Israel to help them to defend their all that. And then, you know, Ukraine's going to want more money, so we're going to just keep sending money everywhere that we do not have. We do not have money to be sending all these countries. We can't even help our American people. Our border is wide open. We can't even put enough people on the border to secure our border, but yet we have all these billions and billions of dollars to send to other countries. And of course, you're going to hear, well, they're going to pay us back when it's over. No, they won't. No, look at our debt. Do we pay our debt back in the United States? Nope. We're trillions of dollars in debt, and we probably don't intend to ever pay it back, right? Eventually, all this is going to crash down. There is not enough money to keep all this stuff going. There's not. You got people screaming about gold getting up to $2,300 an ounce and all this and that. It don't matter. It really don't, because it's getting to the point of, you know, every day you're just sitting here waiting on, all right, this is it. This is what's going to finish everything. We're going to go back to the Stone Age, right? People don't realize, though, the Stone Age, if we go back to the, let's just say as far back as 1800s, not the Stone Age, but you know what I'm talking about. You're still going to owe bills. If you're renting, you're still going to owe rent. You know, if you own a house and making payment on it, you're still going to owe payments. If you got taxes, you're still going to owe taxes. That's just the way it is. You know, it's not going to go back the way a lot of people think. They watch all these movies and the world's just over, right? They're still going to have to pay taxes. You're still going to have to pay rent. The bills are still going to be due. Now, it may take a while for them to come after your money, but eventually they're going to come after it, right? But they're going to come after their tax money, their bill money. The money we keep sending, we do not have it to send. We just keep printing money and sending it. How, if you owned a business and you was running that business the way the United States runs the government, you would be bankrupt. You cannot stay in business. There's no way to stay in business, but somehow we just keep doing it. Deficit spending, right? This is getting to the point where we need to just quit worrying with other countries. Of course, you're going to have people say the Bible says you protect Israel. It's getting to the point where we got to say, put a sign on the border, full, no vacancy. These other countries, sorry, dude, you're on your own. We're broke. We need to take care of ourselves because we have all this money and everything sent everywhere else. If we get attacked, what are we going to do? Number one, I don't think Biden would respond immediately. It would take them days to figure out something to do. You know why? Because they would have to reach deals with everybody involved before they respond. Last night, I told you that it stunk of a deal being reached. It stunk totally of the countries that were involved had reached a deal for that to be allowed to happen. Plain and simple. Of course, you're going to have Israel talking big, but are they actually going to do something? Probably not. At the very most, they may just hit a base here or there, right? It made no sense to me last night why Iran, as soon as they launched and right before they hit, Iran comes out, we're done, we're through, that's what we sent, we're not sending nothing else. Okay, did that make sense to any of y'all? Probably not. It didn't to me. It made absolutely zero sense to me why they would say that, unless you sit there and think back. Well, if they reached a deal and they said they were going to send 200, excuse me, they were going to send 200 and they sent 200, and then they said, all right, that's all we're going to send. You're like, okay, that makes sense. They reached a deal for that amount to come through. You also got to stop and think. We were putting troops over there. It's funny where we station them, ain't it? Where they can hit this stuff. It's all pre-planned. Everything that's going on in the world is pre-planned. Until you get a country or a leader that says, I'm not going to go by the plan no more. I'm not going to go by the deal. You know, I want this, I want that, and I'm going to take it. And when that happens, that's when full-blown SHTF happens. You know, I would highly recommend going and get some gas if you can, though, because gas is probably going to shoot up again. You know, they've got us now when gas here was over $4 a gallon. When it dropped back down to $3 or $2.90, everybody was like, all right, cheap gas. But yet they don't remember, you know, that's still higher than what it used to be. All you got to do is go look at price per barrel and equate it back to what gas used to be when the price was that high a barrel, and you'll see the greed that's going on. But I would recommend stocking up on some gas, get some groceries, you know, just be ready. Just be ready, because these things, eventually somebody's going to quit playing ball. The sleeper cells in America, we don't know when they're going to wake up. They could. They could wake up any moment. Craziness, the world's going crazy. Armageddon's not happening right now. Israel's sitting there. I'm telling you, you're probably mad for me to keep saying this, but it looks like a deal was reached, because I fully expected once Israel realized this stuff is coming from, if they didn't know about it, this stuff's coming from Iran, from the country of Iran. Let's launch some stuff back towards them. It didn't happen, right? And then you got Iran saying, we only sent what we sent. We're not sending no more. Our attack's over. We're equal. We're even, right? Shows you once again how bad we're being played every day, right? And people don't see that. People do not see that we are getting played. They don't. They don't see it. Expect something to happen either this week or next week, though, to get your mind off of that. Expect that. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this video. Comment on it. Am I crazy thinking it looks like a deal was reached? Most of you still not watching it, essentially 13 minutes. Let me know if you are. Let me know your thoughts on it. Share this video. Let's see how many other people think the same way or think I'm an idiot. Keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person who can do it. Stay safe. Keep prepping. Let's see what this week brings. I fully believe this was a planned deal that was worked out for this to happen. It screams it, right? It screams to high heaven. That's what it was. Stay safe. Keep prepping.